When did you decide that you wanted to be a photographer?
Alright, so when I was real little, my parents got me a Kodak Instamatic camera where you had to load the cartridge in, and I was at day camp. I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and there was a photo contest at the day camp. And for whatever reason, I was inspired to enter the contest, and basically the parameters were anything at the camp you could take. That was part of the contest. And so I emptied the roll and submitted it, and I didn't win. But I was close.
How long have you been in the photography business?
Actually, off and on for probably 20 years. Because I started in Los Angeles in the 80s, doing gallery shows. And that lasted about 10 years, off and on. And then when we moved to Arizona, I got into real estate photography. So taking pictures of homes and that kind of thing. So it's probably spanned off and on for about 20 years.
Were you in any photography clubs in high school or college?
Yes. We had actually it was a movie club in high school called Take One. And it was a great club because we got to go all over school, make movies, actually all over Phoenix. It was at Saguaro High School in the late 70s, early 78, 79, 80. And then we got to show our movies at all the assemblies in front of the whole student body, and they were always the hit of the assemblies. So started in high school with the clubs, and then we actually went to Arizona State. My partner and I made a film and actually won the first annual Copper State Film Festival.
What inspired you in most of your pictures?
You draw inspiration from everything. Basically, your life inspires you. What is going on in your life at the time? Some of my gallery shows were inspired by my then girlfriend, or who became my wife, and some of the stuff we were doing at the time. I was inspired by my neighborhood. I was inspired by my surroundings. I was inspired by other photographers and what they were doing. Dwayne Michaels, Weston, Ansel Adams, Wayne Bullock. So landscape photography, all this kind of stuff, it all inspired me. So you draw from everything.
Do you prefer to take pictures of nature, people, or houses?
All of the above. It just depends what I'm doing. Obviously, if I'm doing real estate photography, it's going to be houses. But I certainly went through periods where I was doing portraiture and people and all that kind of stuff, and lots of landscapes. Especially being from Arizona, you're inspired by landscapes everywhere you look out here. And we lived in Los Angeles, so there was lots of cityscapes there, lots of graphic type photography. So it just, I guess, depended on where I was in my life at the time. Now it's real estate and my kids.
What advice would you give to someone that wants to be a photographer?
Advice for someone who wants to be a photographer. First thing you got to do is get a camera and just start shooting. And shoot everything. There is art in everything throughout the day. Everything you look at can be art. So definitely get a camera and shoot. And then pick up some of the great photography books that are out there and look through the different masters of the craft. Look at Richard Avedon, look at Ansel Adams, look at Ed Weston, look at Wayne Bullock, look at Dwayne Michaels, look at Robert Frank. Look at these guys who, Dorothea Lange is another one. So look at the masters, and then intern would be great. Find some studio in town and intern, work for nothing, learn the craft from the inside out. And spend some time doing that, assist for another photographer for a while, and eventually you'll learn and you'll have all the tools it takes to go out and do it on your own.
Tell us about that piece behind you.
That's called Priest in Florence. appropriately taken in Florence, Italy. And the funny thing about this piece is that my wife and I were walking around Florence, actually looking to go into this museum called the Uffizi. And it was a Monday afternoon. And what we didn't realize is that everything closes in Florence around midday. So nobody was on the streets. And the museum was closed. So we were just walking around and we saw this empty alley. And that in the background there is the Duomo, that's the big building. And there just happened to be a priest walking down the alley, and he was the only one in the alley. And I kind of like just ran up to him and just turned the camera vertical and just snapped a few shots. And this is what came out. So it's actually one of my favorite photos. Can you get the cat off the thing?
Okay, I'm just gonna go now.
Okay. Hit it! What's so funny? Can you make sure that the camera's on when she does this? Because you know, we could do this for 3 hours and not have a single frame recorded. What is that? Take it off! Killing us! Yeah, we're shooting this! Alright, everybody quiet on the set.
You're still recording.
That's right, we didn't say rolling! Okay, we are rolling now!
Wait, I just asked that.
You cannot go to the refrigerator
You guys are mid.
while we're shooting. Are we rolling?
Yep.
Okay, wait, is the camera on?
I got this.